I didn't know that was part of the job when I applied. The listing just said housekeeping staff needed, good pay, night shifts available, no experience required. They never mentioned the death part. I found out on my very first night. The hotel sits just off the highway. It's not abandoned, not run down, just old. The kind of place people stop at because they're too tired to keep driving. Beige walls, dim lights, carpet that never quite seems to smell clean, no matter how many times you shampoo it. On my first shift, the supervisor, a tired-looking woman named Maria, handed me a master key and a clipboard. Some rooms need special attention, she said. That little pause, the way her eyes flicked away, it told me everything I needed to know. She stopped in front of room 214. This one first, she added, her voice flat. Guest passed away this morning. Just like that. No sympathy, no explanation, just passed away, as if he'd just checked out. Room 214 looked completely normal. The bed was neatly made, the curtains were open, and the television was off. It was almost to normal. People don't just vanish from rooms like this, leaving them pristine. I started with the bathroom, as I always do. That's when I noticed the mirror. It had been wiped clean, shining under the fluorescent light, except for one spot, right in the center. It was a faint, cloudy patch, like someone's hand had rested there for a very, very long time. The longer I stared at it, the more I felt like the mirror itself was warmer than the rest of the room. A subtle, radiating heat. I finished cleaning that bathroom faster than I ever had before. Over the next few weeks, I learned the pattern. Heart attacks, overdoses, tragic accidents. The manager, a man with a smile that never reached his eyes, always said the same thing. Don't ask questions, just clean thoroughly. But some rooms were worse than others. Some rooms didn't feel empty, even after the bodies were gone. They held onto something, an echo, a stain. Room 317 was the first one that truly scared me. The guest had hung himself from the light fixture in the center of the room. They'd cut him down before I arrived, of course, but the smell lingered, a strange, metallic and sweet odor, like old pennies and rot. It clung to the curtains, the carpet. As I was vacuuming, trying to get the job done and get out, the cord snagged on something under the bed. When I bent down to free it, my eyes caught something on the ceiling. A footprint, a single, perfect footprint, pressed into the popcorn texture. I stood there for a full minute, just staring, trying to convince myself it was a water stain or a weird shadow. Then the light above me flickered, and I heard breathing. A slow, wet inhale and exhale, right behind me. I spun around so fast I nearly fell. Nothing. The room was empty. Then, the bathroom door creaked open all by itself. I could see the mirror from where I stood. It was completely fogged over, like someone had just taken a long, hot shower. As I watched, 3 words appeared slowly, as if being drawn by a finger pressing from the other side. Not finished yet. I quit that night. Or at least, I tried to. The manager just smiled when I handed in my key and my notice. "See you tonight," he said, not even looking up from his paperwork. "I don't work here anymore," I replied, my voice shaking a little. He just nodded. Everyone says that. And he was right. I was back the next night. Same uniform, same clipboard. I don't remember driving there. I don't remember changing my mind or clocking in. But my name was still on the schedule, and a new room was listed next to it. Room 402. Cause of death, unknown. The guest, a salesman from out of state, had been found sitting upright in his bed, eyes wide open, smiling. As soon as I unlocked the door and stepped inside, the television turned on by itself. Loud static filled the room. Then it cleared. A hotel advertisement started playing, the same one they run on a loop in the lobby. But the voiceover was wrong. It was too slow, too deep, like it was being played at half speed. "Thank you for choosing to stay with us," it rumbled. The screen flickered, and the footage changed. It was showing the very same room I was standing in, the same angle, from the foot of the bed. But the bed wasn't empty. I was in it, sleeping. I dropped the remote. It clattered on the floor. At that exact moment, the bathroom door slammed shut. The sound of the shower turning on blasted through the room. Water ran, but it sounded heavy, thick. My hand was trembling as I reached for the doorknob. When I finally pulled the shower curtain back, I saw them. Handprints all over the tiled wall. Dozens of them, pressing outward, bulging the ceramic tiles, as if from inside the wall itself. After that, I started keeping notes in a small pocketbook. A private log. Rooms where guests died violently stayed active. The energy was frantic, angry. Rooms where people died peacefully just felt cold, profoundly empty. But one room stood out. Room 666, yeah. Real number. Management had a dark sense of humor, I guess. It was at the end of the top floor, and they kept it locked. Always. It was never on the cleaning schedule. I finally worked up the nerve to ask another housekeeper about it, an older woman who had been there for 20 years. She went pale. Her hands started shaking. "That room doesn't get cleaned," she whispered, looking over her shoulder. "It gets fed." She wouldn't say another word about it. She didn't come in the next day, or ever again. Her name just vanished from the schedule. Then came the night I knew was inevitable. I picked up my clipboard, and it listed only one task. Room 666. Deep clean. The master key was already in my pocket. It felt heavier than usual. The door opened with an unnerving ease. Inside, the room was bare, no bed, no desk, no furniture at all. Just a dark, circular drain in the center of the stained concrete floor. The walls, floor to ceiling, were covered in scratches. Scrawled names, dates, warnings. I scanned them, my heart hammering against my ribs. And then I saw it. The most recent entry, near the floor. Today's date, and my name. Suddenly, the lights shut off, plunging me into absolute darkness. I heard voices, whispers, coming from all around me. Dozens of them, guests, housekeepers, a staff, all whispering the same two words. "Clean it." The drain in the middle of the floor began to gurgle, a thick, wet sound. Something heavy and wet started dragging itself across the floor toward me. I scrambled backward until my back hit the wall, and that's when I realized. The sound was getting closer, but the room was also getting smaller. The walls were closing in. I woke up in the housekeeping closet, the morning shift supervisor shaking me awake. She said I'd passed out in the hallway, told me I looked awful and should take the day off. As I walked out through the lobby, dazed, I noticed something new on the staff bulletin board. A small, neatly typed list titled, "Permanent Staff." My name was on it. So were other names I recognized. The housekeeper who warned me about room 666. The salesman from 402. People who de-quit. People who died here. I still work at the hotel. I don't age. I don't get sick. I clean the rooms where guests die. And sometimes, I clean the rooms before they die. Because the hotel, it already knows who's checking in for the last time. So if you ever find yourself at a quiet little hotel just off the highway, and your reflection in the mirror seems wrong, and the mirror itself feels warm to the touch, And if you hear the housekeeping cart stop outside your door late at night, don't open it. We're just doing our job. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe for more.